Hi, this is Kayye. We are at InfoComm 2022. It is the third day of the show in the morning, and I'm in the SharpNEC display booth. And I have Kevin Christopherson, who's the Director of Product Marketing for SharpNEC. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic today, Gary. Thanks for coming and meeting with us.
How's the show been for you?
It's been really good. We are very pleasantly surprised having the people back in person. I mean, that's a big thing. We did this in October. It's kind of smaller group, but to have really so many people back with big booths and everything here, it's been fantastic in Las Vegas this year.
So one cool thing we're going to do right now is for those of you who are not at the show or didn't come to the show, we're going to give you a booth tour. So I'm going to ask my videographer to back up and kind of give you perspective of what the whole booth looks like. This booth is very similar to what you did at ISE, where you're kind of showcasing sort of like the key components in each area of display technology that you have.
Yeah, absolutely. This is our first time to really come together on a full scale as SharpNEC, and our theme is better together, stronger as one. And throughout the booth, you're going to see a lot of Sharp branded, NEC branded products in different solutions, whether it be transportation, education, trade compliant products. You'll see both brands across the entire booth.
Well, right here behind us, we have a portrait display, I guess you'd say, made out of LED. Yep. Obviously, this can be in various pixel pitches. It can be indoor, it can be outdoor. You have all the different, and it's really the greeting post of the booth.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're really happy with how this turned out. It's a 1.5 millimeter pitch. This is our E-Series direct view LED, and put it together for the show. It could be done in various configurations, but as you see, we're doing it in portrait here.
And it's modular. I mean, got it, like I said, indoor, outdoor, whatever you want to do. So where are we going to head next? So we're going to kind of go in.
I'm going to take you around the outside of the booth, and then I'm going to hand off to a couple of my teammates, and we'll talk about a couple other things we have going on. But just really
a busy booth the entire show. But your booth has been packed. You're one of the most popular booths here, I think.
Absolutely. The show's been fantastic. Great traffic first and second day. Fridays are usually a little bit quieter, which is great because we could
do a tour.
Yeah, we could do tours. We could have more one-on-one time with customers.
So what does TAA compliant mean?
That is something that the U.S. government has approved the manufacturing location. A lot of product manufactured overseas, let's say China, for example, may not meet that trade compliance spec. These products are manufactured in Mexico, so it does meet that specification. And
these are what size LCDs are these? And that one's a collaborative display, I noticed.
So we have, I'm sorry, Gary, we have a 70 and an 80 inch here. One interactive, of course, and the other is just a standard LCD.
And of course, then the heritage of from NEC days is projection. I mean, y'all have always been a leader in projection. You have both LCD and DLP technology, and obviously you're showing a little bit of it here.
Absolutely. We just have some static product here, LCD, DLP. We have that throughout the booth here as well. And also our desktop products. One of the great things about SharpNEC is we have that whole breadth, that whole portfolio of products, from desktop to large format displays, projection, digital cinema, direct view LED. But it's more than that. It's great quality products, but also the partnerships and solutions that we put behind the product to help solve those customers' pain points.
Yeah, and obviously you've got a number of demo points around the booth where you're showing projection. You're doing some projection mapping up here. You're doing projection showing different applications. You know, projection's not dead. There's been these rumors that projection is going to die. In fact, with the new Microsoft Teams front row specification, 21:9, that's going to do nothing but help projection.
Absolutely, absolutely. Projection is really making a comeback. We're seeing it, of course, for large venue, things like that, your traditional applications, but also think in education. They're trying to spread out kids in classrooms, and you need a bigger screen for that. And so we're seeing a push back for projection in the classroom as well.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can't imagine a classroom without a projector. You're also showing that we're going to get, I know Gary Baylor's going to take us through a little tour of the collaboration displays, because you have an interesting, you know, you have Sharp with a long history of the aqueous displays. Absolutely. You have your history of the Infinity board. Mm-hmm. You came together and kind of re-engineered all of that, and we're going to get a little tour of that. But here you're showing it in education application.
Absolutely, and we're showing it and pairing it with a projector. There's a new PV series that's going to be coming out this fall. Just showing how they could work together. We have to get on the other input so you could actually see it working together, but it's great, and Gary's going to go through, show you some of the new product we have up front.
You're a leader in healthcare technology, and I think it's not just based on resolution, but it's also based on the reliability. I think that's
Absolutely.
a big part of healthcare. You have a little healthcare display here. Tell me how that part of the market's going.
Going very well, and what we're showcasing here is a partnership with a company called Medisign on the left, and typical. You go into a patient room, they're going to have a whiteboard just with who your nurse is, who your doctor is, when your labs are, things like that. Our partner Medisign has developed a program that makes that all digital. Quickly, very easy to update, and very easy for, of course, the patients, the family to see. You don't have to worry about band handwriting or anything like that. So all that information is there.
Can that also flip into be a TV as well in the room, or do they dedicate it to that?
They dedicate it just for this. The other thing we're showing here is one of our 4K displays, and how you can break it into 4 unique quadrants. So we have DICOM simulation here on the upper left side, and we're doing different color spaces, and those are calibrated. Each quadrant is calibrated to a different color space on the 4K display.
Perfect. All right, where are we going next?
We'll just take you quickly to the back side of the booth, and we'll show you. Here we have more of our restaurant area with quick serve restaurant, menu boards. We have both Sharp branded, NEC branded products there, as well as the Sharp BT products, which are fantastic for that entry level prosumer, if you will.
Yeah, those would be for like bars and restaurants and things like that we're showing you right now.
Built-in tuners, fantastic for those applications.
Yeah, built-in ATSC tuners. And of course, I always think of, when I think of digital signage, I always think of NEC, because the very first time I saw that term used was in an NEC brochure probably 15 years ago. Obviously, with Sharp now you have access to even more display technology, including 8K.
Of course, including 8K as well. Here we're just showcasing baggage claim, gate information, and of course slide information display. We're utilizing our 55-inch ultra narrow product up top, and as well as a Sharp branded product up top as well, both 700 candelas, so perfect for that type of environment where you're going to have a lot of ambient light, or maybe you don't have the ability to control that lighting as well. Yeah,
and obviously you're giving away some secrets here as to which airports are using you. It's funny, when I go to an airport, I try to figure out who they're using, because I'm obsessed with that kind of stuff. More times than not, it's NEC.
Absolutely.
And you have also, what's interesting as well that should be pointed out that you're not showing here, or at least I don't see you showing it, is the fact that you have a plethora of different ways to bring the content in these displays. Everything from having SMD built in, as well as also having external media players, Raspberry Pi players, everything.
Yes, the 2 lower units we're running off of SDM. Our ultra narrow displays up top are being run off of OPS, and the Sharp branded products up top, we're running those off of an OPS with a dock.
So you have different ways to do that.
We also have Raspberry Pi built into a lot of our Message series products, so that gives a little bit more flexibility for customers if they want to use different types of digital signage back-end solutions.
Wayfinding obviously is a big digital signage application.
Absolutely. Here we're just showcasing wayfinding application with a partner, 22 Miles. We have the Sharp branded unit and our ME551 with a touch overlay on that.
All right, so obviously retail, and we'll quickly run through retail, but what I'm mostly interested in retail is active scene, because that I think changes I think that changes the landscape of retail, because now you've got and no offense, much less expensive technology that's much bigger. Like the alternative to this would be LED, but when you use LED for something like this, you're having to take over the window space. In this, you don't have to do that. So let's
get Kelly Harlan in.
All right. Kelly, remember me?
I do.
We just did a video cast together. I'm a big fan of active scenes, so we're going to flip the camera around and show this, because what you do is you have a partnership with Avery Dennison, if I remember correctly, and this allows you to take a glass surface and apply a film to it, and all of a sudden it becomes a projection surface?
Exactly, and you can see what here we're telling 4 different stories, and behind this, when it goes back to transparent, we're actually highlighting skateboards that correspond with the content we're showing. So we're trying to create a real great experience. And then you've got that camera up there, that Logitech camera, that's Navisense collecting your dwell time.
Yeah, so it'll tell you how long I'm looking at it. Now, I'm assuming that you probably could collect data like male, female, and personalize the content if you wanted.
You know, we could, but we're actually taking a little bit different direction. We're collecting customer attributes. You know, we're going to see logo detection over here. What kind of clothing logos are they going to wear? How long are they dwelling? What color of clothing are they wearing? What kind of cars do they drive? So we want to be able to inform the environment around the customer, and including how they're going to place their digital signage and what they use it for.
Now, there's another mode to this as well, where you have an opaque mode for the glass that can be just simply used as a privacy filter for meeting rooms and stuff, but you can still project on it, so you can turn that feature on and off. I mean, that reminds me of the old days of what they called LCD glass. Remember that back in the old days? This is a much less expensive way of doing it.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's so versatile, and that's the nice part about it. You can use it for conference rooms, for privacy. You could actually turn it into a nice theater for a conference room. There's just so many applications, so we're very excited about it.
When it's in this mode here where it's clear, does it blank the projector? Is that why I'm not being blinded by the light? Because it doesn't seem as bright when that's happening. It is. It's blanking.
The projector does blank out, so you're not going to have to worry about getting the laser light in your eye.
Yeah, because I noticed it was not nearly as I like. My own projector in my own classroom blinds me sometimes. Absolutely. So yeah, okay, good. Well, thank you very much for this, and obviously this is available now.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and we've got some great installation stories that we're going to be able to tell here shortly, so we're very excited.
Now, you're also the expert at Navisense, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about Navisense. Where are you showing that?
So this is right here is our dwell camera. So we're telling a whole story. So we want to show how Navisense can actually provide that really valuable data. So you're at a front window, they're capturing dwell. Walking around here, we have a traffic camera, so in and out counts, and you can see it's a Logitech camera.
Yeah, so it's a cheap USB camera.
Cheap USB camera. All the processing for dwell and people counts happening on a Raspberry Pi. Yep. So it's at the edge, it's local, the customer can put it on their own cloud. We're not providing dashboards, but we do have partners that provide dashboards, and we've built out a model for integrators to provide dashboards.
Yeah, so there's your information. So the information that's collected from the cameras is all put on whoever's dashboard you want to use, and it tells you whatever you want to know.
Right, and this is a partnership with Pick and Watch and Spectrio, and so Pick and Watch has integrated Navisense in their dashboards. These are our 3 data collection points live in the booth. So you've got people count, you've got dwell, and this is really unique. This is logo detection. So when you
somebody's wearing a hat or a shirt.
So I got this. So you come up here, you're doing a lift and learn for Pick and Watch. You say, "There's a New Balance shoe. I'm picking up this Nike." Content changes immediately, and at the same time, Navisense is grabbing the logo I'd be wearing on my hat. And so it says this customer picked up a Nike, but they're wearing Adidas hats. So you start learning about what your customer's lifestyle brand choices are, et cetera. We can do that for car logos, detection. So it just provides really deep data sets that weren't available before.
So this increases the targeting of something, because if they're wearing Nike, they're probably interested in Nike. If they're wearing this version of Nike, they're probably interested in this version of Adidas and I'm curious, I guess theoretically, the retailer could sell that data back to the brands and say, we have 60% of our customers coming here wearing Nike. You're Adidas. You want to get them. This is a way to do that.
You got it. So that's why this has some really amazing applications. It can be used for agencies and for brand work, for retailers to sell that information, and even for them to create their product assortment. So imagine like you've got regional preferences for clothing, and what kind of clothing are they wearing? Are they wearing short sleeve? Are they wearing long pants? Is that the color detection for clothing? There's a PMS color or Pantone color that's popular every year. Is that really resonating? What popular color? So we're very excited. It actually provides extremely unique data sets so we can customize. And
that's very cool. I like to see this demo. Thank you very much for that, Kelly. And finally, we're going to head over here to get where you at. Here you go. Oh, we're going to let Steve Brower do it. Okay, so Steve, how are you doing?
How are you, Gary?
Good to see you. So you're going to take me through the collaboration line. Now, at both companies, that's the crossover between the two companies is the collaboration products. And I know that's been I think Sharp's history the entire time, been the industry. The first interactive board I ever saw was a Sharp board. So I know that you sort of invented that category.
For sure, the Aquas board has really been, kind of a cornerstone for Sharp. And, we're better together, stronger as one. We're getting a lot of, great stuff from the NEC side. And now we have all this interactive technology. We have right behind us a brand new P&L 2B series. This is our kind of flagship Aquas board that we have. we're looking at a really smart interface here. It's a built-in SoC, has a bunch of various applications, and we have whiteboarding, we have display technology for sharing back and forth.
Is that an Android computer or Windows based?
It is an Android computer. We even have an operation manual on the home screen, so if you need to figure out what you're doing, you can just click on that and pulls that right up.
And now that Zoom and Teams come Android apps, and you can have, that's basically a full collaboration board.
Oh, absolutely. It's really designed to go between the classroom type boards and your enterprise level conferencing. In fact,
is this your camera and mic, or is this anybody's third party USB?
This is our Sharp PN ZCM S1. It's an optional mic and camera. It's 4K. Let's pull it up here for a second so we can get a look. And
we are in 4K.
in 4K, it has also 4 elements in the microphone array, so that you can be anywhere in the room and it's picking up really clear digital audio wherever you need to be.
So is this Zoom or Teams certified yet, or have you thought about getting that certified?
No, it's not Zoom or Teams certified as at the present time, but we're working on alliances, with all these companies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and of course, but it still works. It's not like you have to have
absolutely.
it certified.
Yeah, and in fact, the flexibility of this has a tilt, camera.
I love the record button right there. That's real simple.
It's really funny. What we're looking at actually is an app that I sideloaded off the internet, an APK. So we got a little camera app running here, but on the same lines, if you want to load a Zoom client or anything else, you can put that right here on the board itself.
Now you also have an 8K product we're going to talk about as well, right?
We sure do. This is our premium product. Why don't we step over here? This is the 8MB120C. This has been introduced.
What's the size of that?
This is 120 inches diagonal, and incredibly, the brightness on this, when you power this off a 220 volt source, you get up to 1,500 candelas. There's about 2,500 zones of local dimming and HDR, so you really get incredible 3D look and feel. It's just a big, really.
Like looking out a window.
Yeah, it really.
It's not going to obviously come across when you're shooting this in 1080, but it's like looking out a window.
Well, you'd be surprised. I've seen some videos of this, and it's like it really pops out at you.
I didn't even know there was such a thing as a 120-inch LCD, all-in-one LCD. Is that the biggest flat panel LCD on the market, 120-inch? I've never seen one this big.
Yes, this would currently be the largest LCD, and because of Sharp's long LCD history, you would figure that Sharp would be first to the market with something of this.
Well, the first 1080 I saw was Sharp. The first 4K I saw was Sharp. Now, the first 8K I saw, Gary brought to an E4 probably 3 years ago. I don't know if maybe probably 3 years ago, and he had an 8K camera. His only source. I think that was a problem. There was no material, so he had to hook up an 8K camera to it, and it looked amazing.
Well, the beautiful thing about this, of course, 8K is going to look awesome. We got these beautiful scenes of Venice. But if you connect a 4K source of it, it's going to upscale, and pixel pitch is, of course, the same, and it's going to look, your 4K is going to look, incredible.
It's always better to upscale than downscale. All right, excellent. Well, thank you very much for joining us. We went around and actually shot detailed product videos at each one of these product stations. So all you have to do is go type NEC or Sharp, either one, in the video search window at raypubs.com/InfoComm 2022. Kevin, come on back in frame here and say hello and goodbye at the same time.
Well, again, thank you all for watching this walkthrough. We appreciate all the people that have been out at InfoComm 2022. Check out the videos that Rave has. They've done a lot of detailed, in-depth interviews with the product team. And any questions, feel free to reach out to somebody at SharpNEC, and we'd be happy to answer your questions.
And congratulations in pulling all this together. And thanks for watching. You watch all of our coverage at InfoComm at raypubs.com/InfoComm 2022.